It's a Midwest thing, y'all. They ain't got a clue. Why my cutlass blue? And I got them things on that motherfucker too. It's a Midwest swing, y'all.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Midwest Mouthful. Myself, Ryan Tierney.
And I'm Jeremy Phillips.
Got my man Dave over here, Timmerman, on the video and editing. He's going to be chiming in today, too. We're going to start right off with the Super Bowl recap. I won a game. I didn't finish 0-7. Fortunately, in real life, I lost that game, it feels like. It feels like Zach Taylor, I don't know, man. I didn't like the game plan. I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it's enough to win a Super Bowl. I think in the second half, I don't know what happened. They looked like after they got that turnover from Stafford, and then they had to settle for that field goal. It was done. It was done. Everything shut down offensively. We never got a sniff of anything since then.
Yeah,
since that point to the end, I should say.
I just kind of felt that, Zach Taylor and the offense coordinator just didn't make no adjustments. I mean, Raheem Morris was bringing the blitz. It seemed like every third down he was bringing an all-out blitz, and Cincinnati did nothing to try to fix it,
It's just so hard. You're up in the game, so you don't want to be hard, on your team, because you're like, if our defense is playing well, our defense is playing well. We're all old school to a sense like that, so we're not this, young generation. We're all basically almost 40s, and, we want to rely on the defense, but it's too scary to do that. And I kept telling myself when we were in that game, I know I said this a lot last night, was if we just scored one more time at 20 to stretch it to 27, one good drive you put together at any point, you're going to have them on the ropes down 2 scores. I think it's enough to keep Stafford rattled to not catch a flow like that and to be able to win the game. But Bengals couldn't do it. Stafford and them got into a little flow because on the defensive side of the ball, as much as I love the way we've played this year and had an underachieving type group, Dave kept screaming it. They have to send an extra guy. You have to send the extra guy on Stafford, especially while you got him shook to keep him shook. Because, when
the thing was that they sent the extra guy, but it was getting picked up because they were coming off the edge of the corner. You have to send a linebacker up the middle.
Yes.
I watched it for years.
Well, I'd rather send the linebacker when you think about it. Your cover guy, you're sending on the edge. Yeah, he's going to get there quicker a little bit off the edge.
He wasn't even getting there. It was almost like it was a delayed corner blitz, and it was just getting there late. And he was getting.
And you're taking one of your coverage guys, one of your best coverage guys.
Yeah, that was.
And Hilton, on a slot or whatever, a Cooper Kupp type guy, you want to try to get on there and mask over top of him a little bit. I don't know.
I think Zach Taylor overthought his adjustments at halftime. You had the game. I'm not going to say you had it won, but you were up, and you still tried to be pretty. It's almost like he wanted Joey B to be that guy when all you had to do was run the ball and play defense.
Well, that was one of my things. Better coach. So we think McVay was better.
Yeah.
McVay looked lost for a little bit too at times when he was trying to do a little too much a few times. I think he was trying to get a little fancy and stuff. But
you could see
their offensive game plan was good. They came out, they scored
for the most part. Yes, is what I'm saying. They got a few little.
Was Aaron Donald being bottled for the first half because he didn't get anything in the first.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He
was a force in the second half.
Oh, yeah. Mainly the last, I'd say, 25 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
he finally showed up.
Well, he's just getting arm tackles, stuff that 90-some% of these linemen in the league are just not able to grab an arm on a guy and do it. And
that one where he grabbed through the blocker. And
he's got one blocker. Yeah, and he's reaching over there. It's just unreal. So who's the better QB last night?
I still think Joey B played a phenomenal game.
Do you?
For as much as he was under pressure in that second half.
I like Stafford, but he made them mistakes, them boo-boos, and that's the thing that Joey doesn't do a lot of. No. He does not make. He will take sacks, or he throws a lot of good passes and ones that he has faith in himself. He doesn't get a lot of picks, and he doesn't get
the proof in the pudding was Stafford.
A lot of strips.
Let's be real here. How many times was Burrow sacked last night? 9 times, I think?
7, I thought.
They said 9 by the end of the game.
Yeah, I think it was 9 by the end of the game.
Because it was 7 when we saw that highlight where he said they tied.
Yeah, and then there was 2 more after that, so he was like 9 times, and he was the most sacked quarterback in the regular season.
And then 9 times against Tennessee, so that's in the last 3 games, 18
So
sacks.
I would say the offensive line was the difference maker in that game, because if Joe Burrow had a little bit more time.
Everybody knew that, though. I just wanted it to be more than that. I guess that's why I wanted the Bengals to win. As the Bengals, obviously, I want them to win because it's my team.
Right.
But I want them to win to finish the underdog-type story.
Oh, it would have been great.
That, serviceable guys. Eli Apple, your boy's getting attacked all over.
Hey, well, you know
all
what?
Over Twitter.
That's his own problem.
He brought that on himself.
Yes, Dave, he did. He brought that on himself, coming out dogging the Giants fan base, and then turn around and dogging the Saints fan base, and then trying to dog on Tyreek Hill and Hardman. You know, dude, your bark's bigger than your bite, homie.
Yeah, you got to be able to back it up if you're going to be on that level and do it, man.
Yeah,
come on. We all know Eli. He plays his hardest. But he's a fringe at the end of his career
but hey,
already.
Even,
NFL guy. I don't know why you're trying to talk that smack. I just thought being humble would be the move right there.
Even Michael Thomas got in on him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what Michael Thomas said? Eli's going to be Eli. That's all he said on Twitter about it. So, I mean, take your lumps, I guess, now.
They did say that Matt Stafford became the second quarterback in NFL history to throw for 50 touchdowns in a Super Bowl winning season.
He did this year?
Yeah, because he threw a touchdown in the Super Bowl and it got him to over 50 for the season and playoffs plus winning the Super Bowl.
Solid.
I think Peyton was the other one.
Solid. Come on, though. I've always said it. Everybody makes fun of Stafford. I know he's got a little bit of like a, to me, the Palmer Dalton, where the pick sixes and those types of things that make you mad.
He's a gunslinger, like
but his arm talent is second to none, bud.
Yeah.
Second to none. I mean, he's up there. People dog him, but he's up there with the Mahomes and all them as far as just arm talent, alone arm talent.
Do you think that Stafford's a Hall of Fame quarterback now, or do you think he needs another solid year there?
Man, I'd love to see him throw for 50 next year or something like 45 in the regular season and win an MVP.
Yeah.
I think if that would, with having, if you got, guys like Robert Woods and them guys back, that's, could be feasible for him.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see that. And I think that would cement it. I mean, come on, is Kurt Warner a Hall of Famer?
To be honest, I don't think Kurt Warner is a Hall of Famer. He's won one Super Bowl, but I mean.
He's won one, been to three.
Yeah, but he started late.
Did he make the Hall of Fame?
He did.
Did he?
I mean, I don't know.
I thought he did, I don't know.
But then you've got people like Eli who's going to make the Hall of Fame.
Well, of course Eli's going to make it.
Did Eli have a better career than Matt Stafford?
No,
not at all. He.
Well, it's probably arguable if you look it up. They're pretty arguable.
Yeah, I mean,
Eli obviously was a winner, though, a lot more.
Matt Stafford's record in Detroit was it's like 84-95 and like some odd number of ties.
Which is pretty good for Detroit. You went 500 in Detroit, bro.
Yeah, you got to think he
just
compiled all those stats.
That's pretty good.
Detroit.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But I just don't understand why why Detroit could never just put the pieces together around them.
Detroit.
I understand that, but I mean, look, he goes to the Rams and has this magical season, and seems like
it's a magical set of weapons over there.
Yeah,
I understand that too, but I mean, it's just
defense.
I mean,
because Detroit never drafted well. They only had Calvin. They should have put more playmakers around him when they had.
They tried to draft receivers, and Carlos Rogers was garbage.
That was back in the day, though. This is
but
recent.
they've always drafted receivers. They just can't do anything with them.
Man,
it's like they reach for receivers they thought were going to be good, but they never worked out, and they never found a running game for him.
Yeah, well.
Not to mention
Barry
the fact
never had
that
a great passing game.
I'm pretty sure he hurt his shoulder there a couple of times because of bad offensive lines. And the defenses were never outside, or they were never.
You wonder how Calvin, if he called him today, or Barry, or guys like that are just kind of like happy that he got to get out and kind of got to go get one,
Calvin.
because
I'm sure Calvin did
right after the game.
Yeah, you would think that them dudes would just be happy as hell for him. Like, man,
Barry, on the other hand, I don't think Barry gives a shit.
Yeah, I don't really think he does. He's whatever.
When he retired, he disappeared from football. He just did not care. He was cashed out.
I see it, but I could see that if he got wind of it, I think he would do something to tell somebody congratulations, because I think that's one thing that he always regretted, is them never letting him go anywhere else where he could truly have, some weapons around him.
Right.
It was Barry and nobody else.
There's still no word on the OBJ injury at all.
They said they'll have an update later today.
Later today, okay. I also hear news of Andrew Whitworth talking about he's retiring.
Oh yeah, he's
he
out.
He said it last night. I listened to it on the radio on the way home. He said that he talked to the offensive line during the season.
What about Donald?
Said this was going to be his last ride. Donald hasn't said anything, but there's still
Donald or whatever.
Yeah,
still wind of
he said they said he was contemplating retirement as well.
I think he's just happy. There's nothing left to prove. He won a
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
exactly.
Yeah, he's been it's like a top 5 lineman for
He's got
what?
3 years left on his contract, like $55 million, not guaranteed.
He's been a top 5 lineman for what? I mean, dude, I remember this kid when he was back at Pittsburgh and literally dominating Notre Dame during games. You're like, who the hell is this kid? Like this.
He's been good since he got in the league.
That's what I'm saying, and nobody can really be mad at him if he does.
Yeah, what round was Donald?
First.
No clue.
You sure about that?
First rounder.
I don't think so. He could have been. But I just know they always knocked him for his size, man, because he was undersized at a D tackle position. So people always knocked him. I don't know if he wasn't first year, but I know that he wasn't like this super high pick. That's for sure.
He was the 13th pick in the first round.
See, not super high though, you know. But look at all the talent he showed, even for being, you know, slightly undersized when he came in and all that. He was a freak and everybody knew it. They didn't know about the tweener and doing that, but you know, enough teams were like, yeah, we're gonna reach up in that higher first and take a chance with this guy. It was
his first.
You could see it at Pitt. That's what I'm saying. You could see it at Pitt. It was unreal. You just wondered if it was going to translate. You know,
even
like it doesn't with some guys.
Season, he had
he's been
tackles.
He's been the truth forever. Look at that, 6'1", 284.
9 sacks, 18.
That's a littler guy, but that's just a savage.
He's just so strong.
That's like a 350-pound guy he is, but he's in 284 pound
But
body.
what kind of D tackle had a 20.5 sack season in a and it wasn't with this season. It was back in 2018, so it was a normal season.
So I'm saying he's got a couple defensive player of the years.
Insane.
25 tackles.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bengals are losing anybody. That's what I had on here. What about the future of both teams? I mean, the Rams
losing Eli Apple.
Yeah, him and a few of them linemen.
Let's see.
Eli Apple's a free agent.
You know, I think the Bengals need another running back.
Yes, but you don't want to take one early. You got to those guys that we talked about, like in the third.
No, I think you do that, or you find the veteran right now, the good veteran that can fit for a year or two with you, possibly. You know, you can get him on a smaller deal or something. He's towards the end of his career, but he's got just enough to spell Mixon and still keep P. Ryan. I know they had Evans in and all that last night, but P. Ryan or Evans, one of them got to go, in my opinion.
I think it's going to be P. Ryan. Chris Evans is young. P. Ryan's been in the league for a while.
Yeah.
If you draft somebody, P.
Upgrade somebody better for P.
Eli
Ryan.
Apple was on a 1 year, so he's not.
There you go for the Bengals.
He's not there
right there.
Yeah. I just think immediate future, I think the Rams are really set up good again next year. You know, especially if Donald comes back for one more year, then I think you're really set up for one more good run. I think the Bengals are set up to compete for AFC championships, not Super Bowls, but to compete for those, I should say. So they should be able to either get wild cards or win division for the next 3 out of the next 5 years. They should probably do that because there's going to be injuries.
They're built for a playoff team for the next 10 if they got Burrow healthy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say they're going to compete for championships every year. Playoffs, yeah.
Not 10, but I'm just saying we know guys are locked in, though, for the next 3 or so.
Yeah.
So I'm saying 3 of the next 5 years could be really good, depending on how you maneuver things right now. It could be a really good run, really special run where the Bengals could, they might lose a few early in the playoffs. They might make another Super Bowl. They might win that one. They might lose that one, too. They might, make 2 in 5 years.
Who at the beginning of the season thought that they were going to be anything higher than 4th in that division?
Yeah, that's why I looked up. What did we look up last night? The Rams spent like the 4th most money. They finished first. Bengals spent the 29th most money and finished second. So, who overachieved where?
Yeah.
If we're being honest,
the Rams got 19 players that are going to be free agents.
Pieces in the right spots.
I mean, it's Midwest mouthful for a reason, bro. It's Midwest over here. I'm sorry. I don't fuck with LA.
Yeah.
Period. I don't. They buy all their shit over there, LA Dodgers over there doing it. The Lakers over there trying to finesse trades. I think it's funny that people don't even want to play with LeBron now, or nobody wants to do the Lakers a favor.
Well, I'm just kind of sad that he's doing that to my Lakers.
I know, but you were aware of that and you knew it, and that's why you didn't want him there.
Yep.
You'd rather have saw the young cord get built up.
I was, Yes. Some would have rather seen Ingram and all them still there.
Yes.
It's easy to say that.
Nah, no, it ain't. Not to me.
For the championship, though,
That's a bubble championship. The hell trash is that?
Still a trophy in the case.
And,
It's a tournament.
Man.
That's a random tournament out
It's
of
like
nowhere.
saying a
Everybody
lockout season
stops.
championship doesn't count.
Yeah, to me it
What's
really
that?
doesn't.
Like I'm just saying, that's like a lockout championship not count because it's a shortened season or something.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I
Did
would
the
say
Lakers
that.
win one of those two?
What's that?
Did the Lakers win that lockout championship? They played the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
That was coming off short season.
It could have been back in the day. I'm not. Yeah, but a lockout's different than just coming after a weird break and then you come and you all go in this weird tournament nobody's ever done before. It's a tournament to me. Kudos to them. I thought they were the best team that year if it would have went the right way. If 2020 would have went the right way and we would have had the playoffs, I still think LA was going to win that year. They looked like the best team, period. So kudos for them to get it together enough to win it in the bubble, but it's still a bubble. It's not the same, though.
No.
I'm not saying that they probably weren't going to win that. They probably would have, but they didn't. It's a bubble tournament. It's different. Was that worth all that? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, they're
Some
probably
people
the
would argue it
oldest
is.
team in the league right now.
I think it has to do with where you're at as a fan. Where LA, maybe not as much because it's LA. But I mean, if you're the Cavs and you didn't have that championship when LeBron was there, and you win the bubble championship, like you're holding on to that.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Or
And
like
that's what I mean. But
Charlotte
LA got it, so it's like another meaning. That's why I said it just didn't value. It didn't have nothing.
But even if it was like somebody that we didn't root for, like if Charlotte won the bubble championship, like if they had a bubble tournament this year and Charlotte won it, like that'd still be cool because Charlotte just won a bubble championship.
I mean, see, here's a question I always ask myself about the whole thing out there in LA. If LeBron doesn't go to the Lakers, does PG and Kawhi go there instead of the Clippers?
Possibly.
Probably.
And joins who they already had in Ball and Ingram and all
might
them?
have
I don't
another
know.
little-
Kawhi seems like a dude that just wanted to go to the Clippers because
different.
they haven't won anything.
Yeah.
He could have been, but I'm
did it
just,
in-
you
he
know,
did it in
but
Toronto.
And then who
my
else?
thing with it is
You got them, and then you got what? LA, Dodgers. Now they got the Chargers. They're good over there. As I said, these dudes just don't care, though.
they're
I'm not trying to cut us
buying
off on this, but it's like I want to kind of stick on the topic
Yeah.
of the NFL, and I know we're
We,
getting off it. My hate for LA is strong, obviously. You know, we do due diligence over here. We don't fuck with y'all. Period.
No. And the only reason I'm a Lakers fan is because of Magic Johnson and Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm not hating it. For some reason, I've never hated the Rams. They were St. Louis or something. I still feel like attached to that.
Yeah.
So even though they're LA, for some reason, they don't bother me. You know, I always attach Chargers.
Actually, if you
So
want to
they're
be,
the same
if you want to be real, the Los
But
Angeles
Dodgers
Rams are
and
the original
Lakers?
Cleveland team.
I can't mess with that, dog.
Yeah, you know the Rams are the original Cleveland team. So
Oh, yeah, they were.
yeah, 1937, 1945, and then moved to L.A.
There you go. You can hold on to that one, Jeremy.
Hey,
What you got in coaching changes in the NFL going on,
coaching
Jimmy?
changes here. Well, on the last one, we still had 3 open jobs. We had the Dolphins, Saints, and Texans that were still open. Right now, they're all 9 been filled. Dolphins went ahead and hired 49ers offense coordinator Mike McDaniel.
He's a different guy. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him, though. I think guys like that tend to be
Also,
successful.
Wes Welker is leaving the Niners and following Mike McDaniel to the Dolphins as a wide receivers coach. So Wes Welker's going to be the receivers coach in Miami.
That's cool.
Saints promoted Dennis Allen from defense coordinator to head coach.
Yes,
And
I
then
have that one on here.
got Lovie Smith being promoted from defensive coordinator to head coach. And check this out. The Texans are not hiring a defensive coordinator because Lovie Smith is going to be calling the defensive plays and be the head coach.
What type of joke is that?
I don't like
That
I like
organization's-
Smith.
Yeah, I don't.
I feel like they hired him just to have somebody in place for the next guy that comes along.
Is it-
Because they know they're going to be bad. They're going to be real bad for the next 2 or 3 years.
Is it fair to say that the Texans might supplant the Jets or possibly Browns, Lions, Bengals as these drag franchise that people have for years? You think the Texans
maybe
will
like
eventually-
Cleveland and New York, but like nobody's replacing Detroit. Like Detroit's been a dumpster fire for their entire history.
I
I'm just
mean-
saying, 20, 30 years from now, I'm just saying you never know. The way the
20, 30
Texans are
years
going
from now,
now.
Detroit's
Yeah.
probably still going to be a dumpster fire. So you should
That's
still be
wrong.
like close to
Hey, well, here's something else that's kind of big in the NFL. The Raiders over here done took the Patriots wide receivers coach Mick Lombardi, and he's going to be their offensive coordinator. And then they hired the Patriots offensive line coach for the same job in Las Vegas.
You know who,
So
do you know
that's
who their inside linebackers coach is? Gerard Mayo.
who the Raiders.
Patriots.
Yeah.
The Raiders,
Oh,
they're all looking like the Patriots.
But
Yeah,
they hired Todd Bowles as their defensive coordinator. So I mean,
man.
Who starts on the hot seat next year, guys? Who's the guy that's on the hot seat? You think, everybody else? We know these new coaches ain't right
I really
away.
hate to say this, but I think Lovie Smith might be on the hot seat.
You think so? That's mean. That's a horrible hire, though, in my opinion, too.
It really is.
And it's not. I don't know. I like Lovey. He was good and stuff when he was at Chicago. Illinois,
that was
not
a
so
different
much.
kind of ball then.
I know.
It was.
He made that Super Bowl run on him.
And he had some talent.
Rex Grossman.
He had some talent.
Rex Grossman.
Well, Rex Grossman.
Hey, come on, man. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, man.
Trent Dilfer also had an all-time defense in front of him.
Okay.
Yeah, his defense was talented.
And Trent Dilfer wasn't a gunslinger. Rex Grossman put that ball where it's not supposed to be.
Rod Marinelli. You know, he retired.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
did hear that. Vic Fangio said he's taking a year off as well. So Dom Capers joining Broncos staff as a senior defensive assistant. I did mention last week that I forget what team it was hiring the Bears defensive coordinator. Actually, no. The Seahawks ended up signing him. So Sean Desai is
bidding war.
Yeah, went to the Seahawks. Oh, and then a little bit of news. The Browns' former defensive line coach, Chris Griffin, who was Lane Kiffin's brother, left Cleveland in January to become the co-defensive coordinator and defensive line coach at Ole Miss. Was down at Ole Miss for less than a month and had a change of heart. Said, nope, sorry, Lane, I'm going back to Cleveland.
He's like, fuck you, Lane.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know if we discussed this, but the Giants hired Mike Kafka as their offensive coordinator. He used to be the quarterback's coach.
I think we talked about that last week.
Mike Martindale, the Ravens' defensive coordinator, as their new defensive coordinator.
Oh, the Giants did?
Yeah.
You're trying.
Man, it looks like they're off to something good over there.
That Raiders coaching staff looks like it might end up being scary.
I mean, yeah, it's a bunch of old.
You would think Josh McDaniels wasn't going to leave to do it this time if he wasn't going to do it right.
It looks like the Vikings are keeping Keenan McCardle as wide receivers coach. How you feel about that one, Dave?
I mean, he's doing a good job with what he has so far, but he also has Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, so I can't.
Oh well, yeah.
They make life easy.
They also put Ed Donatel as their defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He was the Broncos DC.
Man. Okay.
Flip over to NCAA. Josh Geddes. Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
Josh Geddes. Michigan offensive coordinator dips to go to Miami, Florida.
To the U.
The U.
Man. What's going on up there in old Ann Arbor?
I don't know. It's a little instability right now because everybody's pissed about the way Jim handled that situation.
I mean, yeah.
He's ruffled a few feathers with some people. Some people are definitely leaving. I know that they named Sharon Moore and Matt Weiss the new co-coordinators at Michigan. I think it was an O-lineman and
for the offensive side.
Yeah,
because they hired
co-coordinators for offensive coordinators.
Yeah, they hired Jesse Minter.
Time at quarterback too.
Run. And then Jesse Minter, if you remember Rick Minter, he coached at a lot of places.
Yeah.
That's his son. He coached for the Ravens for a little bit and at Vandy, and now he just got promoted to their D coordinator.
He was Vanderbilt's defensive coordinator last year, and they didn't have a really good defense.
Well, Vanderbilt didn't.
I get it.
Clark Lee's my guy. He's head coach there. He kind of had to pick up a bunch of nothings. I guess we would have seen here in a year or two for sure if that Minter would have had any real thing. It just sounds to me like it's another Ravens type deal.
That's what I'm saying. It's the Harbaughs are recycling coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier to do that in college, anyways.
What did I say? Bengals linebackers coach Al Golden. I said that I think it's going to get done here tomorrow.
Yeah,
they're going to announce that. He did a phenomenal job. He took third and fourth rounders at the Bengals. Look at Logan Wilson, man. That dude's a stud. Flat out, that dude's a stud.
Yeah, they want him.
Pratt was nice too. Yeah, he's their D coordinator now.
Yeah, they want, and Notre Dame wants him, don't they, for their D coordinator?
Yeah, that's where I think he's going to end up.
Yeah, that's what it says right there. Yeah.
What about Auburn's coach? You hear about that? The alleged scandal or something, and then some other people. I heard that some people made it up because the Auburn boosters wanted him out. It was a made-up story. I said, man, this is so SEC.
I think Auburn's a dumpster fire, bro. Right now,
dude. I guess they're saying he had some girl or something while he was at Boise, and then he moved her over to the staff. All while he's been married and all this other stuff, moved her to the staff at Auburn.
Okay.
It also says that One of their assistants, Burt Watts, is reportedly leaving for the Broncos.
Who's that?
Auburn,
yeah, doesn't surprise me. That's what I said. Was it made up, man? You just don't. Who's the best new hire, or at least like the top 3? Who'd you say? Who made the 3 best hires? You think all these off-season moves? It's crazy. NCAA.
There's so many.
You'd probably say USC and LSU would be easy because of the Brian Kelly and this and that. But I mean, who is the real underrated good hire? You can't really say Freeman. Freeman, everybody kind of knows it's such a. Who got the good hire out of like a younger type team? I can't really.
I mean, it's not really.
I mean, there's some big names that went to lesser schools too.
There is.
From Oregon he's the head coach in Akron right now.
I mean, maybe Miami with Cristobal.
That could be huge for Akron. I'm not saying nationally.
Is that going to turn out? Is that one, or is it the lemming for that, or is Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame? Who's going to be Venables at Oklahoma?
I mean,
there's such movement.
I know it's
like, who is going to have? I mean, it's hard to say right now. Like I said, you could just pick somebody and give a reason why. You could say Venables because he'll rebuild Oregon's defense.
Yeah.
You could say Lemming because he'll keep Oregon going stronger out there. You could say, Lincoln Riley because he'll have the offense too great. Brian Kelly because LSU can't miss talent.
Exactly.
We could keep going on and on and on. They all have a reason why.
It's a toss-up, man. It's the NCAA. You never know what's going to happen.
In a few years, everything could change.
Exactly.
That's what I said with the way this landscape. That new Napier went down to Florida. Yeah,
I mean,
he could be a good one too.
Coach going to Florida. That's what it looks like. It says here.
I mean, but see,
I don't know what ULLHC is.
Here's the thing in NCAA, it's not just the head. It's not just the head coach.
But still,
what about some of these
Louisville Lafayette head coach? Dave.
What about some of the coordinators that have relationships with kids that when they move to a different school, the kid comes with them?
Yeah.
Are there any assistants out there that moved to a different school that might be able to impact a recruiting for a school that didn't have it before? I mean,
yeah, this NIL is gonna.
That's what I'm saying.
Change everything.
The NIL, the way the portal is now, where it's basically immediate eligibility.
Like he said, between the immediate eligibility and now with this portal and the way it is, of course coaches are leaving. Some of these guys are figuring out that this shit ain't for them, or they want to go back to the NFL because now it's less of a headache. At least there's structured contracts and stuff over there, not little handshakes and this and such. I mean, like I said, the A&M. I heard they said one kid or whatever, $400K, $100K a year, and then $50K if he graduates and decides to stay. That's what some of these kids get offered. That's just rumored, and it's just a bidding war.
As much as some people probably want to hate saying it, I think Brian Kelly probably has the best season out of some of these new coaches just because of where he's at.
I don't know if they have the talent yet this year for him.
Yeah, I don't.
Good year? Yeah, I think he'd have a good year this year. 8-9 wins or something. I don't know if they have the talent for LSU to make that jump.
I'm not saying they're going to make anything impressive. I'm just saying out of most of these new coaches, like who's going to have the best season?
I think year 2 for LSU and USC is huge.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Now year 1, there's some things we can figure out about them about year 1 and how the program looks.
Might have a better season plays because they're still in the Big 12 as far as this year, right?
Yeah, just one more year. Yeah.
No, I know it was 2025.
They don't got no QB and they're losing some stuff. I don't know what they're going to look like.
Yeah, but they just reload with some random quarterback and throw him back there and let him throw the ball around.
Dylan Gabriel, he's a Central Florida kid.
Yeah.
I like him a lot, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see how he is in the Big 12. It could be. We'll see. That offense is going to look awful different with not Lincoln Riley calling it. So we're going to see now. Maybe Bob Stoops will help him, Venables and all that game plan, and whoever the new OC is, and they'll have their a new high-flying offense. Go over to the transfer portal. There ain't really much going on there. The only thing I really had to say about the transfer is, the main thing to me was where does JT Daniels go?
Man, I don't know.
I've been thinking about where everybody, Dart's already at Ole Miss. Now USC's done. Oklahoma's good. What is he going to go to back home? Go to UCLA? UCLA's open now because Gabriel flipped to Oklahoma. Would he go to a Notre Dame? JT Daniels, who passed up on him the first time, it was, they were in his top 5 or so, I believe, when he's originally recruited, I'm saying. But I think he was a USC all the way.
The more you wait, the slimmer your pickings are.
I'm just saying, but I think Tyler Buckner's probably starting for Notre Dame. I think they're going with him, and he's their QB1 right now.
And I'm just saying, as far as you were saying,
I'm just saying
where you go back there, like where you. The more you wait, like somebody else can come in there.
Well, George has got Bennett. It's already gone. George has Bennett's back for a year, so he has to leave. It's where do you go?
Yeah, he's
but that's what I'm saying. You said
only
go
one
to UCLA.
that's not.
Like, if he doesn't go to UCLA, where else does he
North
go?
Carolina and Sam Howell spot. Ooh, something just clicked in there with me.
Forgot about Jack Miller going
North
to Florida.
Carolina's guy. Oh yeah, Jack Miller is in Florida now, huh? See, there's some. That's really the only one that I had, and the other thing that I was saying was just hypothetically, how many years do you think it would take any of those guys to get hacked? That or any of the good ones right now, like Ryan Day. If Ryan Day loses to Michigan next year, Jeremy, what is the pressure?
Oh, dude, he might get fired. Actually,
I'm just wondering. I say, how safe is Day? I don't think so either. I don't think so either. Not right yet, still. But I think he'll have that pressure where it'll be next year. Will be you better beat Michigan, son.
I mean,
you lose to them 3 in a row. We're switching things up here.
Here's the thing: you can't lose to Michigan at home. You just can't do it. Michigan was due 1. I mean, it was coming.
I'm just wondering how safe's Dabo. Dabo's got everybody left him, bro.
Yeah, but I think Dabo's safe based off of him winning those national championships.
Yeah.
He bought himself
a few more years,
exactly.
At least to get another
Tressel was
kind of started over with some newer, younger coaches.
But Tressel earned all that time. Yeah, because he went to 3 national championships with winning 1. He should have won 2, but it is what it is.
He said it is what it is. All right, guys.
I'm more surprised that Harbaugh still that much.
Yeah, they
took him this long to win that 1.
Bro, they love mediocrity, so hey, they're a basketball school now.
I like Harbaugh, honestly. I always did. I always did. I think he's gonna be I think he'd be a good NFL coach. I think he's gonna be a good NFL coach.
Yeah, he just needs to go back
to the NFL. It's a matter of time of when it is. And when it's going to be right. This was a year that was good to test the waters for him. I think he's back committed to Michigan for another at least 2-3 years. So, I'm not going to dog on anybody and be like, oh, don't send your kid there. No, you send your kid there, you're probably going to get Harbaugh for a few years for sure if you're sending him there for that reason.
Right.
I don't think he's going to bail that quick again, but I do think he's made it quite clear that he's eventually going back at least one last time.
Yeah. He has that.
Yep.
We know he's going.
Just one last time. It might be in 4 years again. So you might get a whole nother class. Go to Michigan if you want, kids. I don't care. Do what you do. But he might get him for the 4 years, but that's about it. It's shown short notice over there in Harbaugh as far as I'm concerned.
I think so too.
And I think he lost a lot of support amongst people the way he handled that too. So we'll see if the rug might get pulled out from under him in a few years if things start flipping right back to Ohio State beatdowns annually. So we get over to draft profiles, guys. Start right off. I was going to kick off the wide receivers. I might come back later because there was some running backs, a few more I'd like to hit. But I'm going to call them in like a sleeper batch. We're going to do a few of them later on and a few guys we might have missed of, extra corners or a linebacker, a few extra running backs, things like that we just want to generally touch and talk on. We'll do that at a later time. Today we're going to start with the wide receivers. I'm going to go in order of how I see them. If anybody wants to switch it up or say a different reason, I think they can go for it. I mean, I know a lot of people have London at 1 today. I got London at 3, Garrett Wilson at 2, and Burks at 1. That's how I view them. I think Garrett, Wilson, and London can honestly flip where their careers could go. I love Burks. I don't know. There's something about him. I'd have to see the combine, but the freakishness about him, I don't think there's anything that you're going to get me away from putting Burks as my number 1 receiver. He returned kicks. That's what was kind of cool about it. I was looking on film and this dude's returning kicks. He's 6'3", 225, 230. He's returning kicks.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Reminds me of
Debo. Yeah, Debo, AJ Brown. When you look at the outside,
I think he's versatile. He reminds me of Debo.
Yeah, they didn't really run him.
Let him do this.
Well, they didn't. He had 11 carries, so we don't know whether he's a Debo. That's the thing. That's why I liked the Debo, but the more I watched him, the more I got A.J. Brown from it as far as just being a receiver on the outside. But he has Debo, he has Debo's body capabilities. Maybe they could use him as that. I don't think Debo's got as big as hands as that boy.
I don't think so
that's
either.
Like 10 and a fourth hands.
He's got 10.75 inch hands.
10 3/4.
And last year,
92%. They said it's 92 percentile in the NFL.
Yeah, last year, the 2021 combine, the biggest set of hands was 10.5.
Yeah, and these
So he's a quarter inch bigger than him.
and that dude was probably 6'5", Dave. This dude's 6'3". That's what I'm saying. He's in 92 percentile of the whole NFL now with those hands. Dude, they're some people project him at 4'4" by most, but some have him hyped up and got him in the 4'3s.
Yeah,
I know.
I've seen all my reports have been like 3.34 to 3.37.
Dude, the one thing that they said last year, he ran like a 22.6 mile per hour run, and it would have been third fastest in the whole NFL. One of his, you know how they do that little sports science on it and see how fast they're running when the actual run, 22.6 miles per hour on them. He's just a gifted, freakish athlete. He's the freakiest of the class, in my opinion. He played against SEC competition, man. Red zone nightmare. Dude can run drags. You can put him in the slot. Great hands. Dave mentioned the Debo thing.
He's strong.
Yeah.
He blows through press coverage.
Yes.
He's got long arms. He's got big hands. He's a mismatched. I don't want to say he's going to be a mismatched nightmare in the NFL because there are good corners in the NFL, but in college, it was almost like he was unstoppable at times.
Yeah. Looked like a man amongst boys.
He did.
London looked like that a little bit too.
One thing I did notice about Burks, he just looks natural catching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way he has body control, his burst.
Mm-hmm.
They do say that he doesn't always give 100%.
He
knows the ball's not coming that way, or he doesn't have to block. He just kind of.
Yeah, they said that's one of his
It's that Randy Moss
inconsistencies.
complex. If it's not coming to me, I'm going to take his play off.
They said he can also be loose on his brakes too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The one thing I got on him, is just tighten up his route running a little
they
better.
said he needs to refine that. And
solid, more consistent with it.
Yep.
That's the one thing that, when I was reading in other guys' reports, they had that as well, that they felt the same thing.
Yeah, that and the blocking and the plays not coming his way of him kind of taking plays off was about the only thing I really
There's a common thing with
saw.
some of these bigger receivers this year too is that they come off the snap high, so they don't get into their top speed fast enough.
I remember a dude named Keyshawn used to say, "Give me the damn ball." I used to do a dude named Randy Moss over there, TOs. These dudes, it's drama. It comes with that position. I mean, it's a very talented guy. I think I'd take my chance with him. I saw people mocking him to like Falcons or something. The thing I have with that is that's sweet, but it's like, if Ryan ain't the guy or you're moving forward, like you need to figure that out. Maybe they want to get that and then get the quarterback the next year, but
Maybe
I don't know.
They do say that he doesn't. You can see it in some of the film that he doesn't use his hands to secure the ball. Sometimes he lets it come. into
his
pads,
body. Yeah,
and that probably creates
all of
dropping issues.
All three, I saw that with all of them.
Yep.
All three, I saw that with all of them about him having just the natural. But I'm going to go with the guy with the 10 3/4.
Yeah, it might be a product of being where he was too. I mean,
yeah. You got anything else on him, Jeremy?
No, I mean,
Who you got number 2 on yours?
I don't really have a number 2. I got a 1A and a 1B, and then I got a 3. So
he said he's got a Burks and a Bias Garrett. That's what he means.
Yeah, that's kind of where
is,
it's
a
going.
Burks and a
I'm
Bias
not gonna lie.
I like Wilson a lot.
I'm really not gonna lie.
He reminds me of like a T. Higgins OBJ type guy, honestly. The more I started looking at him, he's a little quicker than what I thought. It's not a Mike Thomas. It's a T. Higgins. It's a quicker T. Higgins. It's a OBJ.
Yeah.
OBJ's pretty quick. Like Wilson kind of reminds you of that.
And the one thing
that
Wilson does consistently is he's able to create yards after the catch.
Yeah.
One thing that he does better than the other two is run routes. He doesn't round them off.
Smooth.
He runs them smooth. They're crisp. He runs.
Yes.
If he's going on a 5-yard out, he hits that 5 yards and then goes.
Yeah,
out.
but one of his other knocks though is sometimes he lunges and he opens up his body to hit his upper body too quick.
Oh yeah.
So he telegraphs it.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to work on that.
He's got to work on that.
Yeah,
That's a huge
and
thing.
he struggles against
physical
physical cornerbacks.
I like him because he can beat you in a number of ways.
Yeah.
He's had the great system at OSU. It's pro-ready guy. He gets great separation. What do they call him? The separation god?
Bigger guys, that can come with him putting on weight and muscle.
Well, that too, yeah. He's only 6 foot, 192. So, he could stand to put on probably 5-10 pounds.
Separation guy. Like I said, OBJ, you look at, Devin Smith or whatever.
And here's the thing that
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, that people should look at.
I always get the Devin or the D's or whatever.
He had 70 catches
I know
this
the
year.
hell it is. It's Alabama, Heisman Trophy winner, destroyed Notre Dame and Ohio State. I get it.
Wilson had 70 catches at Ohio State on top of Smith, Jigba, and Olave. That's crazy. 70 catches with 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's a system. It's just a great system.
It was.
The rumors are the 4-4s. you know, he ran a 4.61 in high school. I hope he got a lot better, and they'll get him ready for the track, I'm sure, and all that. But that's not that great.
The thing with him though is that, as opposed to some of the other guys where they say they catch it with their pads, when he doesn't catch with his pads, because this is like 50-50,
he's got good hands.
He's always ready to make a play after.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like he play and boom and go. Yeah, he can catch and go real quick. The thing with me is listen to this, my man. What did you say? Oh, he played at the Lave and had this and that. Was he ever a number one? Did he ever take the best corner in college consistently?
No.
No, that's hard to do in college, anyways. I mean, unless you've got a freak over there.
I'm just saying, but he was number 2 then, right?
Yeah.
We're just letting this be known. When teams went up against him, team put their number 2 on him and put their number 1 on Olave. I just want that to be known when we're doing this film right here.
Garrett Wilson primarily a route running like slot receiver type guy?
No, Smith-Jigba was the slot at Ohio State.
Yep.
Olave and Wilson were the outside guys.
Olave was the one. Yep.
A lot of those touchdowns came after the catch, though.
So see, my thing is, I know they featured him, and they featured him all, pretty equally. But, was he ever a true one? Did he have the one corner on him? That's the one thing you got to give Olave, where it makes him a little more of a sleeper and intriguing to an extent. That does. If you could trade up and get him later, and you don't have to pick 20 picks earlier and pay that extra money.
I think your Wilson is just more versatile of a receiver.
Just smoother. Like, he just looks smooth, man. Yeah. Natural out there.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
He's comfortable laying out for it. Has great range on his catches. I mean,
bad blocker though. That's the knock on him.
Man,
dude can't block.
Yeah,
dude can't block.
Yeah,
cannot block. He's got to clean that up.
You can teach crappy blocking in the NFL though.
It's just position.
Really.
Especially if you're that explosive off the line, you just place.
And blocking off us can be in 6 foot, like what, 185.
He's 190, right? Yeah, he's 190. So.
Like he's not a strong. That's the thing he's not a strong dude. Like
that's the shit that pisses me off though. That's going on. Like I said over there, Ohio State and the Ryan Day. They do that, but them are them little soft tendencies that isn't going down at Bama. Notre Dame wasn't fine. You're playing wide receiver. You better block or you ain't going to play. Period. We're going to run the ball. We're going to need you to block. We'll flip things over to Drake London. 6'5", 210, 220 probably, on a bad week range.
This guy excites me. I don't know why.
That's why I said, is he 3? Could be a 1, man. He could be the best receiver in the draft. It's really, really weird. I mean, I put in here Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, Michael Floyd even for Notre Dame. Just them guys that just can go get the ball. They weren't super blazers, but they're like what I call him, a jump ball champ. He's definitely playing jump ball for you.
He's an all-conference player in high school in basketball.
Yeah, jump ball champ.
Yeah, and that's the one good thing he does is he uses his knowledge of basketball to put himself in position to catch the ball at the high point.
The thing that scares you about that guy is the fact that he does a lot of he does a lot of deep routes there. Mm-hmm. But you'd like to see better route running. Like he's one of the guys that rounds off routes or shorts his routes.
On the opposite end of that, great blocker. Lined up in the slot, a little too much. He needs some more work on the outside. That's where the untapped potential, it could be a blessing, or it might be like, oh shit, we just got a bust because he can't play the outside at all and he's 6'5". So that's the high risk, that's the risk reward right there,
Yeah, but here at the same time though, playing slot, okay, so he goes to an NFL team, plays a little bit of slot as a 6'5" receiver and is a good blocker. You could almost kind of run in a package like that to where you could bring him into the slot from the outside and have that extra blocker. So I think could work out a little bit in his favor.
Even if he doesn't have that burst to go over the top with somebody, he's going to find a job. Like you said, he can play the slot. He blocks really well for a receiver, and he's 6'5".
And people knew.
Nobody even knows. So he'd be a red zone like.
Animal. Oh, that's what I said. Red zone animal. That's exactly. Look at what do I got right there.
Yeah, red zone animal.
I have exactly right that in there. Jump ball champ, red zone animal. Good at great hands. Okay at route runner. Was very good even though the opponents knew he was. So Notre Dame game plan for him and was like half scared. I mean, they played off of him, this and that. They gave him everything underneath, nothing over top. The dude had 15 catches at half against Indy.
Yeah.
At half. I get it, we were playing back and he was the only thing beating us, but man.
He's got the best catcher range out of all 3.
It's because he's 6'5".
I get it.
Burks is close, but yeah, Burks is close behind him.
Even if he's not a great receiver, he's going to he's going to have a job.
Yeah.
You can't teach some of the stuff that he's got. He's big, he's long, he can block. You can put him, even if you don't put him at the slot exclusively every play, he can come in and play your slot on a 3-wide set or a 4-wide set.
Who played the best corners? Who played the worst corners out of the 3?
Well, he definitely got matched up with corners in there. Well,
no, I'm saying who played the best corners? Like, who had the best? You think Burks took the number 1 SEC corner every week, and then Wilson got the number 2 Big Ten, and London got what?
The number 1
nickelbacks. No, if he's lined up in slot.
If he's
in
doing
slot,
that,
what are you getting up
if
against?
he's doing that good,
yeah.
You have a corner that's that good, you have that guy following.
All right, I'm just making sure because I'm saying if this dude's over here against nickelbacks and 2, and that's kind of why I was my logic in 1, 2, 3 right
Burks
here
was definitely
today
taking
on where I
number
felt
1
about
corner
that.
every week.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and number 1 SEC speed, bro.
Yeah.
That's not no chump. No chump. Baller shit.
London kind of reminds me of a DK Metcalf-ish.
He has that, but he doesn't have the straight speed that DK does.
No, and the
his
thing
body
is that
looks
him
similar.
along with Burks, but like I said with Burks, he comes off the line high. He's not getting into his full speed run. He's not trying to hit top speed fast enough.
Yeah.
So like they come off of how we were knocking running backs last week for running straight up. Like he does that off the line instead of getting the top speed fast.
Yeah, they were saying London and Burks. Burks tends to do it at times too. Have that upward when they're trying to dip.
And they both catch the ball with their pads.
Yeah.
More than their hands.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, as a receiver, why aren't you teaching kids to catch?
I don't understand that. Yeah, especially
talent.
Talent. Yeah, level. It's like your job to get them
like
up
Burks,
there to that.
Burks seems like he should be a dude that's just jumping up and grabbing balls in the air with one hand, because he's almost got 11-inch hands.
I saw it a few times on the film. Yeah, it's a different. We swing over to NBA, Dave. I know this is where you got it going on, man. We got Levert to the Cavs, baby. That's all I got to say is come out and give my boys a little light clap for that, dude.
I think that's a huge trade.
Yes. It's definitely what they need.
Well, it's not even that. You dump the Rubio contract. You might have given up a couple of picks. That one's protected, the other ones aren't.
Yeah, but I also heard
that
you said Rubio want to come back.
Yeah, I also heard Rubio wants
to come back.
Planning on signing back with him this summer.
He might get bought out and then come back.
Yeah, they're saying him come back.
But them getting rid of that contract, maybe get him back as a lesser contract would be huge.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that contract is going to hamper you guys.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. So now we got rid of him. So now if we get him next year back, and what if Sexton, if we sign to a good deal? You'd have Sexton, Levert, Garland, and Rubio. That's a nasty.
All these big trades, my most surprising is the Celtics snuck below the luxury tax line with their moves.
What was that about?
They just made some moves and got under the luxury tax, so they don't have to pay that extra money come offseason.
Yeah, so they just get
They probably did some cash stuff and got rid of some contracts and blah, blah,
Well, because
blah.
they felt like where they were going to make them moves and where they were going to be after making them moves puts them in a better place, and it's not going to hurt them advancing as far as playoff-wise goes. They already have what they had, and they weren't going to land another star to push them any further. You know what I mean? It's just smart business, basically. That's all the Celtics have ever been. Yeah, that Sixers boy, that Harden and Simmons. Woo! We've been talking about it for about 2 episodes on here, 3 episodes. You weren't here, Dave. I mentioned it way back then. I said it in like episode 2. I think what we on 6 now.
Talked about
It was like
episodes.
It said, "Is there smoke to the Harden and Simmons?" And man, they said it was dead at one point, and of course it came right back because you're like, look, they're the only 2 biggest ones out there that made sense for each other's team. And that's when me and you had got into it last time, Dave, how you said, well, it really does help both. And I'm like, man, when you really think about it, and I kept thinking about it more and more, and I'm just like, damn, it really does what both team needs right now.
The reports that I heard from talking to my friends that they were reading stuff because they wouldn't quote what they read, is that Harden was mad because Kyrie's only playing part-time.
Yep.
Kevin Durant's injured. So he's doing all this work. Like he wanted to come there and kind of take a back seat to one of those guys at least and not do all that work. So him going to Philly allows him to take that step back because that's Embiid's team. I don't care how good Harden is.
Yeah.
That's Embiid's team.
Embiid's an animal.
And didn't they say that Harden,
You said Kyrie wanted to take a step back. You said Harden wanted to take a
step back.
And
he didn't want to be the number 1 guy there.
Hey.
That's why he joined up with both of them because they were talking about trading Kyrie instead of James Harden. And there was a report that Kevin Durant said he'd retire.
If they trade Kyrie.
Yeah. And just be done with basketball.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm
So
trying,
Durant
I'm
really
trying
wants
to
Irving
find that
there.
exact story, but everything is just like bits and pieces of this here and there.
But I heard something about they had only played 16 games together, Irving, Durant, and
And they
Harden.
went 13-3.
Yeah, they're stupid. They should have sucked it up, kept it together.
It's,
They were
I think it's the
impossible to
fact
guard
that
together.
James Harden allowed that trade to go through there because it was going to be Kevin Durant and then Kyrie as the 1 and 2, and then James was going to come in and just be that
I
third
still
guy.
think Simmons is nice because Simmons can D up Butler, Simmons can D up Giannis, Simmons can D up Harden and even be a big ball guy on Harden when Harden's over there getting the ball. Simmons is even big enough to go down low
My
sometimes
only
and bang.
thing with that is that if you're playing a Game 7 at home in Brooklyn where Kyrie can't play and it's just Ben Simmons and Durant,
Yeah.
and they double Durant on the last shot and leave Ben Simmons open at 3, what are you going to do? What if they pass him
What are they
wide
going to do
open
about
3?
this?
If they pass
So
him
Kyrie's really not going to play in the playoffs?
he can only play when he can only play at places that allow him to play without being vaccinated.
So every home game he can't play.
No, he can't play any home game. He can play everywhere
can't-
on the road, even in.
He can't play. At
You
New
sure?
York.
I thought you guys were looking this in and saying that he could play at home because it's so many days in between games and going back and forth or something.
No,
to where
he's just not
you'd
supposed to play in
basically be a
Brooklyn.
visitor in Brooklyn at that point, so then you wouldn't have to or something.
Right.
I
If
thought
there's
so,
something weird about
okay,
that.
yeah. So
It's
if
because he lives in Brooklyn.
yes, so if he would have got traded
just
to
move.
Yeah, but they still say that he's a citizen of there because he
right,
works there.
he would have basically had to play for another
He
team.
gets his paychecks cut from Brooklyn.
Same thing with the Andrew
They got to
Wiggins.
figure that out.
That's
They're
why
cheating
Wiggins.
everybody.
Yeah, that's why Wiggins just
the
went and
man
got
don't wanna-
vaccinated.
Everywhere with this stuff.
If
Like,
they don't want to, if the man don't want to take the vaccine, don't matter. Let him play some basketball.
just look at the what was it? I think was it the Bengals or the Chiefs?
I
One
get
of the
it.
playoff games last week. They stormed the field, and there's like thousands of people grouped together, no masks, no nothing.
Well,
Yeah,
look
and
at
how do
this-
you know how many of them are not vaccinated? But then Kyrie's got to for this. I'm just saying. I get people want
I don't
everybody
want
to
to say
be
they're picking on
vaxxed.
Kyrie because there's other guys in the league that aren't vaccinated.
Oh.
Aren't playing. It's just that he's the highest profile guy.
Well, it's
Yes.
just for the simple fact that it's where he plays, and they got that ridiculous rule.
Yeah, that's just a New York thing.
It's a LA thing too
I
because
hate
they're
it.
doing
I
it
love
in LA
Kyrie.
and
I
in
hated
Oakland.
Kyrie, and I don't defend Kyrie, but you know, right now, I just think he deserves to play basketball.
Yeah.
I think
I
they've
don't
got
think
to
you can
find
get
us
mad
some.
at him either way.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
get mad at him for not getting his vaccine, but you can't get mad at the NBA for putting in place their protocols over this stuff.
It's not the NBA's protocol. It's it's
That too.
Brooklyn's.
But I'm saying this is how it's been since this stuff has happened. It's not Brooklyn. It's the entire since it's New York City. And all
Well, yeah, it's New York. You know, like I said, it's not the NBA's is across the board. They're not requiring players to get vaccinated, just like the NFL didn't require it.
So are
My
they?
biggest thing on that trade, since we can go back to the trade, is them getting Andre Drummond in Brooklyn. It gives them a real center to
Yeah.
play center instead of putting Blake Griffin.
I hate
there all the
hate
time.
that dude. So I'm not an Andre Drummond fan
And then,
at all.
but they did get Seth Curry.
I don't hate. Hate's a strong word. Let me take that back. But you get what
I
I'm
just
saying,
like
though.
that guy.
He
Yeah.
said, "No, I'm just talking from a basketball standpoint, man. I don't care about that dude. That dude's probably a great dude off the court and all that. You got a family or something, probably, and everything else too. I'm just talking in general of basketball, man. I hate that dude as a player. I just
The
think,
Pistons got good. Well, got better. They got Marvin Bagley.
yeah, I did
Giant
see that.
14
They did.
trade.
They got, yeah.
The
They
Kings
got that
basically overhauled their entire
Ibaka to the Bucks. I saw that.
They
was
did
a
that
nice one.
because Lopez has been in and out
Mm.
with injuries.
They
So it
need
allows
somebody.
them to put another big body down there.
Yep. You got McCullough to the Pelicans. Didn't understand that really.
I think Dame's gone in the offseason. I think they're just going to go into a rebuild there in Portland.
No, I just wonder
Dame's
why the
gonna end up
Pelicans
getting
wanted
traded.
him. Like why they felt that.
It gives them a solid ball handler to go with those other guys that they have.
Maybe it'll
A
work
seasoned
out.
vet that can handle the ball and make plays.
Kings land Sabonis.
That might be a huge. I told you the Kings might be nice. Maybe not now, but soon because not only did they get Sabonis, but they just got
Yeah, they got-
Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Jackson, Trey Lyles, and some other guy that I don't know. The draft rights to David Michino. I don't know who that is. Like they overhauled their roster. Like I know they gave up some things in doing that, like Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton. And who cares about Tristan Thompson anymore? But they gave him up too. But they got Demonis
He getting
Sabonis.
balled
Justin
out.
Holiday's not a terrible player, and Jeremy
Yeah.
Lamb can shoot. I guess.
Love that one there.
I don't even know about him. Schroeder, I saw that.
Schroeder got sent to the Rockets with Enes Kanter freedom.
Yeah, he got released right away. That's why everybody's trying to make a big thing. I'm like, look, man, maybe it would be a big deal, and they try to blackball him out the league, but you can't say that to a guy averaging 3 points a game. When you just kind of suck, you kind of suck. It is what it is. Like, if he was averaging 13 a game, and they did this to him, then you'd have a legit argument of, they're hating on him.
So here you go.
There's some weird trades that happen, like the Raptors got somebody to take on Goran Dragic's contract. The Spurs.
He's getting bought out.
Yeah, so speaking of all that, Dave, here's an article right here talking about 15 potential buyout candidates in the NBA.
There's a lot. I think
you got Bazemore, Bledsoe, Dragic, Ebanks, Favors, Gary Harris, Jeremy Lamb, DeAndre Jordan, Lopez, Robin, that is, Millsap in Philly. What's that?
Mike Muscala in Oak City.
Don't know that. Sanatorsky, and then Schroeder
in Houston.
What is it?
Saturansky.
Let me say that one again. Hold on. We gotta look that up. What is it? Saturansky? Man, it's Satoriansky, man. Come on, man.
Satoriansky. Tomas.
Yeah, look. Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder. Yeah. And then you got Tristan Thompson and John Wall.
Tristan Thompson should retire. He doesn't do anything anymore. He's just
He never did anything.
He's just collecting.
He played defense and grabbed a rebound and handed it to LeBron.
Or
and
Kyrie.
then he chased down an offensive...
Some of these guys don't make sense. Like Goran Dragic, the Spurs aren't doing anything with him. They took that on so they could get rid of him.
All right, so right here.
Dennis Schroeder, too. So what about...
So what had...
I mean, DJ Augustine was just waived at the trade deadline.
Okay,
he was the biggest name that was waived at the trade deadline.
Here's the question, though, Dave. Dennis Schroeder gets bought out by Houston. Does he return to LA and play for the Lakers again?
No. You know who they'd be smart to get if he gets bought out is Goran Dragic.
Yeah, they already said that. But he's going to look at the Lakers.
Or Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, because Westbrook...
Did your list include John Wall?
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be scary.
Get Wall out there real quick.
Yeah, they said he hasn't played a game yet this season.
Jeez. Guys are just like... Fucking
they
got so much money now, these dudes are just
they don't even care, bro.
Russell Westbrook's contract in LA and then sign John Wall after he gets bought out.
These dudes get so much money now. They're like, fuck it, I got $200 million.
I mean, yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up. I ain't playing this year.
But I mean,
we're going to sue you for $40 million. You're like, I still got $160 left. I think I'm all right.
There's not a lot of good buyout candidates, but like you got Eric Bledsoe's a decent one that can go somewhere and put up numbers.
Yeah.
Rodney Hood could go to a contender and come off the bench and put up numbers. The big market is bad. They're talking about Paul Millsap might get bought out by Philly.
Oh yeah, he just said that. Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan would be.
I don't think much on him.
I don't know why he's even being discussed.
I would take Jordan for Cleveland as an extra big behind Allen and them.
They're going to buy him out because they brought in Drummond.
That'd be cool.
That might be why they're going to buy out Jordan, because they brought in Drummond in that trade.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I thought Jordan was at the Lakers. They didn't get Drummond.
DeAndre Jordan was on the Lakers. They were talking about buying him out too.
He got traded there, didn't he?
No, Drummond went to the
Drummond
Nets.
is in Brooklyn.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah,
he left.
The Lakers, yeah.
DeAndre Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, he's for the Lakers now.
His second buyout in 6 months.
Well, Gary Harris is a buyout candidate too. That'd be good.
Yeah, I don't want that dude if he don't want to play. I want somebody who wants to play, man. A big.
Well, him and Bazemore both sitting right there.
I just don't think there's a lot of bigs that are around here that are any good.
What do they say right here? Bulls might be interested. I was looking for somebody maybe the Cavs would. Well, my Cavs are just gonna stand still with what they got.
Hernan Gomez.
I know, what a name, bro. I'm glad you didn't ask me to say it.
They also say Dallas is considered a favorite destination for Goran Dragic.
Goran Dragic.
Yeah, but do you bring him off? Are they gonna bring him off the bench to back up Luka? Because you can't have them both on the court.
Says who?
If Luka's on the court, he has the ball in his hands.
Okay.
They said he's a favorite. They're favored right there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it might be for when Luka's not on the floor, you have somebody to handle the ball.
Yeah, baby. I don't even know at this point what Duran's actually like his role is at places anymore. I know he was good for a few years ago and stuff, but man, I've been off the NBA to a certain extent for a few years.
Goran was good in Phoenix after Steve Nash left, and then he was good in Miami, and then he's on the tail end of his career. He's just a good veteran to have, and that can be a solid backup. He's not going anywhere and starting unless they don't have a point guard.
Yeah. What do we got over here on the MLB? Jeremy.
Well, let's see. I guess back here on February 10th, Manfred said the teams are not looking to use replacement players. They did agree on a couple things. On the 10th, they agreed to universal DH.
The universal DH. You know, I love it. Me and Jeremy been beefing about this all week.
Me and Ryan.
I love the DH on both sides because, listen, my argument was I want better quality baseball. So at the end, I don't want them having to pull a guy because this batter's up at the pitcher, so you pull the better pitcher out that you got to replace with the lesser pitcher because you're trying to have the better batter in at that time to win the game. You can now have your better batter and still keep your better pitcher, and the quality of the game is up. That's what I would say because of that.
I don't even watch baseball, and when I do, it's because I was over here. But I do pay attention to some baseball because I'm still a Reds fan. I root for the Reds.
Yeah.
And I always thought that you should have the DH on both ends anyways. It makes it even.
Yeah, why would you not? I said, I started making fun of Jeremy. I'm fucking with him.
Load management.
I said, no. I started saying, well, you're on the NFC, so the NFC from now on, their running backs got to be their punters. I just said some fucked up shit like that.
Awesome.
He was.
And I said, well, not on the AFC, though. We're allowed to have our punters be our punters. I said, but over there, you got to have some. I said, you know how your running backs look goofy punting the ball? Well, that's how our pitchers look swinging it back. I said, I don't.
Your D tackle has to kick field goals and extra points.
Hey, but you know what? Hey, that's fine and dandy if he's got any type of relation to Lou Groza because he was a tackle and a kicker. So he's even got an award named after him. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of universal DH. I just thought if maybe they made the pitchers take a little bit more batting practice.
Would you look into any of those draft lotteries or anything? I was just wondering what it was. Elimination of draft picks. I mean, these are big things. We might have to touch on them next show. I'm sure.
My thing would be okay. So like in the NFL, when players sign free agency and they lose and the team doesn't gain back the type, they get extra picks.
I understand.
I think that's what it is.
They're saying you're not going to get it no more?
Yeah, they've agreed not to give
Oh, no, I liked that. For one, I liked that. I thought that's what made it somewhat fair in the end.
Yeah, me
the draft
too.
lottery. We'll see what that is. We'll talk about it again, guys.
I know
we'll check it. We'll check that out on the next time.
They made a proposal. A couple days later, said they were going to make a proposal. MLB's proposal was underwhelming, according to a union spokesman.
Yeah.
Nothing. I haven't really seen anything on the proposal.
This was the 12th, you see.
Yeah.
They're just not moving nowhere. It's miserable right now.
The thing is that the owners hold all the cards in the MLB.
They basically do.
Mm-hmm.
The owners aren't going to care because they've already got their money. Like they could literally stop being an owner of an MLB franchise and still be set for the rest of their lives and their kids' lives.
Yeah.
The owners is probably all about getting a win in this contract, in this bargaining agreement.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a miniature win, they still want to feel like they won the deal.
Well,
it's not like the NFL where the NFL players hold out like you're losing.
Right.
Yeah.
Anybody been paying attention to the Olympics? Anything?
Mm-mm.
No.
I saw some people skating the other night.
I love bobsledding, though. They were doing that last night. I was checking out the girls of the U.S. finished 1 and 2, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just something about the Winter Olympics. I can't get into it like I can Summer Olympics.
I don't know. Well, I will. I will. I'll still watch it here and there.
It's because all the fun stuff takes place later.
Yes, that's why I said towards the last few days and stuff. Now, hockey, I do. I saw the U.S. men was 3-0 and stuff, so that's sweet.
I believe they play Canada.
I think we'll probably. What's today, Jeremy? What you looking like probably for the next show here? Probably in the next week we'll probably nail out another one. We'll hammer out a little bit. We'll touch base on a little more MLB and some more Olympics.
Might do a I don't know. Might talk. I know Sunday we got the Daytona 500 coming up. So
NASCAR.
He said NASCAR, brother.
Possibly. Hey, I'm a big NASCAR fan, so might touch on the winner of the race a little bit, maybe.
Oh yeah.
NFL is going to be kind of dead for a couple of weeks, kind of a dead period.
Yeah, we'll go over some draft profiles. Yeah, some draft profiles and a few other things. Maybe do some rankings of some sort.
Yeah.
Start looking into mock draft. We'll have ahead for you guys. Thanks you guys for watching again. Another episode of Midwest Mouthful. Bye.